Father, I'd like to thank you for allowing all of us to travel here safely, and thank you in advance for the same and allowing us to travel home. Father, thank you for the man that you sent me to help me, and Bishop T.D. Jakes, my spiritual father. And I ask you now to put your arms around my Hall of Fame classmate, Gene Hickerson, and his family. Father, hold them tight and love them right. In Jesus' name I pray, amen. Hey, thank you. I want to send a special love to all the people in Dallas, Texas. Special love to all the Dallas Cowboy fans all over the world. Special love goes to my hometown of South Florida and all the Miami Hurricane fans, St. Thomas Aquinas fans. But I want to send love to every fan everywhere, because you hear so often that people say, oh, these are the guys that built the game. No, it's your hunger and your love for the game and your love for what we do that make this game what it is. I thank you for loving the game like we love it. Jerry, those were kind words. Thank you. You know, when I first met Jerry, he had just purchased the Dallas Cowboys. He had a bit of a concerned look on his face. And I said to him, I said, we will have fun and we will win Super Bowls. You see, I knew Jerry had put all he had into purchasing the Cowboys, and that's the way I see Jerry. He's a man that's willing to give all he has, and all he wants is to bring the Cowboy family Super Bowls. Jerry, I appreciate your commitment to family, the Dallas Cowboy family, and your own family. He has a beautiful wife, Jean. And I tell her this, I just love her to death. Her spirit exudes beauty. Her mannerisms exude class. She's one of a kind. Jean, I do love you. They have beautiful kids, daughter Charlotte, sons Stephen and Jerry Jr. Each have played a role in my life, and I thank all of them. So heartfelt thank you to the selection committee, especially Rick Goslin and Shireen Williams. Shireen is the first woman to have a seat on the selection committee. So Shireen, congratulations to you. These gentlemen behind me, these men, they inspired me to become the player that I became. And as I spent this week with these gentlemen that I've admired growing up, I kept thinking about how gifted they are. Man, they're gifted to run and cut, gifted to throw and catch, gifted to run through blocks and make great tackles. And then I met their wives and their families. And I realized that it's not only about the gift God gave us, but equally important is the help that God gave us. The help is the people that God put in place to support us on our journey. So I will try to put the credit in the right place tonight and share with you my help and my journey. I thank God for the help of my father, Walter Irvin, whom I lost at the age of 17. He was my hero, and he loved, I'm telling you, he loved the Dallas Cowboys. I woke up this morning smiling, knowing that my father will not be here in the flesh. but that he is in heaven, watching and celebrating with his all-time favorite coach, Coach Tom Landry. Also, Tex Schramm, Derek Shepard, and Mark Tournay. Those guys, we think about them here, we feel them here, and they will always be with us. Before my father made his journey to heaven, I sat with him. His final words to me were, "Promise me you will take care of your mother. She's a good woman." As you've heard, my mother raised 17 children, most of whom are here tonight. There were challenges, but she would never complain. She always walked around the house and said, "God has promised me that my latter days will be better than my former days." My mom and my Aunt Fanny, her older sister, they are part of my travel squad now. And as we travel, all they want is a nice room and an open tab on room service. And when my work day is done, I get to come by their room and we tell stories and we laugh and we have fun. And we always end the night with them telling me, "Baby, this is what God meant when he said our latter days will be better than our former days." You know, I can't tell you how it makes me feel to know that God uses me to deliver his promise. I love you, Mom. I love you, Aunt Fanny. For better or for worse. Those are the vows we take before God in marriage. It's easy to live with the for better, but rarely can you find someone who sticks around and endures the for worse. Sandy, my beautiful wife, I have worked tirelessly, baby, to give you the for better. But I also gave you the for worse. And you didn't deserve it. You didn't deserve it. But through it all, I experienced the depth of your love. And I thank God for you. I love the mother that you are, the wife that you are. I love the way that you take care of our family, our daughters, Maisha and Chelsea, and our sons, Michael and Elijah. I thank you from a place that I can't mention, I can't even express, baby, for keeping our family together. I love you so much. My football family, as Jerry told you, began at St. Thomas Aquinas High School under the wise tutelage of a great coach named George Smith. George Smith has dedicated 37 years to that great program. He's a great man, and I thank all the people at St. Thomas for believing in a young man like me. And then I went on to the University of Miami. And I think most of y'all know how I feel about the U. Yes, the U. You better believe it. And after that, I was drafted by the Dallas Cowboys, where I, where I played and worked with some of the best to ever be around this game. For example, Emmitt Smith. Emmitt Smith is the all-time leading rusher. And the great thing about that, his rookie year, he said to me he was going to become the all-time leading rusher. I doubted him, like I think everybody would have. But what an inspiration to be in a room and see a man set a goal so high and then be persistent, be dedicated, and accomplish that in which he set out to accomplish. Emmitt, you're an inspiration to so many. The third part and the third member of the triplets is Troy Aikman. My quarterback, our leader. Troy Aikman led us to 3 Super Bowls. When I say led, I mean led. To 3 Super Bowls. It's all time. He's the winningest quarterback in the decades of the 90s. And then if you talk to him and you ask him what's his most memorable game, he will tell you that 94 NFC Championship game that everybody's talking about. It's a game that we were down by 21 and we lost, but we never gave up. That's the mark of a true leader. All he wants is for each player to give all he has all the time. That's Troy Aikman. That game is one of my most memorable games for all of those reasons, but it had a little something extra for me. We were down 21, and Troy came in that huddle with those big blue eyes, and he looked up, and he said, "Hey, I'm coming to you no matter what." Whew. Let me tell you, as a wide receiver, that's all I ever wanted to hear. Just come to me no matter what. And he did. He came to me no matter what. But Troy, you've always come to me no matter what. And I'm not just talking about on the football field. And for that, you have a special place in my heart, and you always will, no matter what. I love you, Troy. I love you deeply. As the triplets, we received most of the press and the credit, but we were surrounded with some great guys, great players, talented guys. Guys like Darren Woodson, Dallas Cowboys all-time leading tackler. My Cowboy counterpart, Jay Novacek, what a great tight end he is. Daryl Johnson, the unsung hero, Moose. Larry Allen and Eric Williams, I'm telling you, they are 2 of the better linemen, if not the best linemen, to ever play this game. The big fella, Nate Newton. Jim Jeffcoat. And one of the best cornerbacks and the finest athlete I ever went around, that's Deion Sanders, prime time. And so many more. You can't accomplish what we've accomplished with just great players. You also need great coaches, and we had that. We had guys like Norv Turner, Dave Weinstedt, Dave Campos. My position coach, Coach Hubbard Alexander, who is my heart. Coach, you took me as a young man out of high school, and I know I gave you a lot of mess through the years. Thank you for being there, Coach. And our head coach, He will always be my head coach. That's Jimmy Johnson. We worked hard. We had the best, and I'm telling you the very best, and I'm willing to take an argument with anybody on this, strength and conditioning coach in the world. His name is Mike Warsick. He has 6 Super Bowl rings. 6 people, twice. He has won 3 Super Bowls in 4 years, once with us, and now with the New England Patriots. So if anybody wants to take an argument, I am a debater. I am here and ready. Mike Warsick, you are, man, the very best. You put me back together from that knee injury. And as we always tell each other when we say goodbye, Mispa, which means may God hold you till we see each other again. I also walked on campus at the University of Miami, same day, with our PR director, Rich Dalrymple. And I know some of you are saying it's fitting that you are tight with the PR director, Michael. But Rich has been a great friend. When I walk in his office now, Rich has pictures of us. He has pictures of us at the University of Miami when he has this nice, beautiful black hair. And then he has pictures of us now when he's all gray. And he says to me all the time, "You see these gray hairs?" I say, "Yeah." He says, "You gave them to me." And I tell him, I say, "Well, you see those 4 championship rings you have? I gave them to you too." I have experienced all this game has to offer on the football field. The losing, going 3-13, and even 1-15. And in my second season, the career-threatening knee injury, thinking I would never play this game that I love again. And even in 1999, the career-ending neck injury, that in which football players fear the most. But I've also had some beautiful victories. We won 3 Super Bowls in 4 years, and I can't tell you what that feels like. And we did it with guys that we loved to play with and guys that we loved. Folks, I'm telling you, that's the true essence of a football family. And that's exactly what we are. Not was, what we are. I love all of those guys that I played with. Since retiring, I have developed a deeper awareness and understanding for this game. First, as a fan, and then as an analyst. That is where I've learned that it's so much more than merely a game. Thanks to ESPN, thank you ESPN, for giving me the opportunity to travel to NFL stadiums throughout this country, visiting with fans and seeing this game from a completely different perspective. The movie, Remember the Titans, is my favorite movie, starring Denzel Washington. And I love the way in this movie, the game of football brings those boys together. It unites those boys on that football field. It unites a whole town, black, white, old, young, rich, and poor. And it happens every year around this time in NFL locker rooms and NFL stadiums. So don't tell me it's just a game. My favorite day was Monday, September the 25th, 2006. New Orleans, Louisiana, site of the Superdome. I watched our people who had suffered so grievously through Hurricane Katrina fill a stadium hours before a game and stay hours after the game. I witnessed those fans as they look for each other, hug one another, and just be thankful to be in that stadium. You see the game flex its greatest muscle that day, the ability to heal. I experienced a football game that contributed to the healing of a city. So don't tell me it's just a game. You know, the Bible speaks of a healing place. It's called a threshing floor. The threshing floor is where you take your greatest fear and you pray for help from your great God. I want to share something with you today. I have two sons. Michael, he's 10, and Elijah, he's 8. Michael and Elijah. Could you guys stand up for me? That's my heart right there. That's my heart. When I am on that threshing floor, I pray. I say, God, I have my struggles, and I made some bad decisions. But whatever you do, don't let me mess this up. I said, please, help me raise them for some young lady so that they can be a better husband than I. Help me raise them for their kids so that they could be a better father than I. And I tell you guys to always do the right thing so that you can be a better role model than Dad. I sat right here where you are last year, and I watched the class of 2006. Troy Aikman, Warren Moon, Harry Carson, Rayfield Wright, John Madden, and the late, great Reggie White, represented by his wife, Sarah White. And I said, wow. That's what a Hall of Famer is. Certainly I am not that. And I doubted I would ever have the chance to stand before you today. So when I returned home, I spoke with Michael and Elijah, and I said, that's how you do it, son. You do it like they did it. Michael asked, he said, Dad, do you ever think we will be there? And I didn't know how to answer that. And it returned me to that threshing floor. But this time, I was voiceless. But my heart cried out. God, why must I go through so many peaks and valleys? I wanted to stand in front of my boys and say, do it like your dad, like any proud dad would want to. why must I go through so much? And at that moment, a voice came over me, and it said, look up, get up, and don't ever give up. And you tell everyone or anyone that has ever doubted, thought they did not measure up, or wanted to quit, you tell them to look up, get up, and don't ever give up. Thank you, and may God bless you.